Hello, everybody, and welcome to the film show. I'm Robbie Fleming, your host, and joining me is my co-host.
Hey, it's JD, your viewmaster, Justin Doyle.
Hello, Justin. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, Rob. How you doing today?
I'm good. I miss award season.
Yeah, I know. It came and went really quick. Lots of good movies, and yeah, we have a while until they start coming around again.
Yeah. So you might know, because and all my fans might know, I make it my own awards, the Fleming Film Awards.
That's right. I was a presenter for one for Best Actress.
Yes, you presented Best Actress. Yes, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about what I've given as the best film winners of the 2010s, which all are my Fleming Best Film Awards.
That's right. Yeah, lots of good movies, interesting movies. I'm excited to hear why you chose some of these for your favorite that year. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and I have my list ready to go.
And what is your number 10?
My number 10 is Gone Girl.
Okay, that's an interesting choice. My number 10 is Hunt for the Wilder People.
Hunt for the Wilder People. Yeah, Gone Girl. It's a solid flick. It's based off of a book. We have Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. You also have Neil Patrick Harris, directed by David Fincher. But it felt like a David Fincher film, meaning it's really long. It takes a long time to get to the point, and you either have to go with the ride or you can zone out and check out, which I may have done in this movie a couple times, zone out and check out. But it is thrilling, it is suspenseful, it is engaging, and with all the twists and turns that happens in this movie, you just can't help but understand that how good of a movie it actually is. I mean, when it's all said and done, you're like, whew, well, okay, that was a ride. So it's a good film, but out of your choices here, this was my least favorite. But it's just a little slow, a little boring, not as entertaining as I'd like it to be. But that's just me. And yeah, I thought Ben Affleck did a really good job, and of course, Rosamund Pike was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for this, so good for her.
I also gave Rosamund Pike Best Actress for that film. Those are the only two Fleming Awards I gave it.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. It's
You
it's
like David Fincher's other work?
um well, didn't we have Mank recently? Yeah,
Mank, Fight Club,
yeah.
Seven.
Well, I enjoyed Mank very much, and of course, Fight Club is a masterpiece, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Seven's a lot of fun. He's big on his twists. He's big on his twists. So, but again, they just kind of take a while to get there. Like Zodiac, boy, oh boy, good film. Good thing that the acting really gets it through. You know what I need to watch because I don't even think I've seen it all the way through. Is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
I keep meaning to rewatch it.
I need to give that one a view. The Game, that's a good movie. But yeah, I mean, he's a fine director. It just takes a really long time for him to get to the actual like gusto of the film.
Yeah, Fight Club gets more to the point.
Fight Club gets more to the point. Yes, very much.
Yeah,
Uh,
so my
yeah.
number 10 is Hunt for the Wilder People,
hmm
which I nearly didn't give it to. I originally gave it to Deadpool, but I watched Hunt for the Wilder People afterwards, and I named that my favourite film in 2016.
Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah,
Well, it's a damn good film. It's higher on my list, but yeah, I really like Taika Waititi's vision on this one. And I love the characters. But yeah, I'll talk more about that later. What do you you obviously just like the movies that you have 1 through 9 more than this one because it's still a damn solid film.
Yeah, it's still a solid film. I like the chemistry between Julian Dennison and Sam Neill, and I do like how they interact with one another and how they have to team up together and survive in the wilderness. And Taika Waititi's cameo as the priest is solid.
Yes, very much so. Um, so Gone Girl wasn't nominated for Best Picture, and neither was Hunt for the Wilder People. Hunt for the Wilder People. But yeah, both solid flicks.
And what's your number 9?
My number 9 is a movie that came out in 2018, up for Best Picture, won for Best Actor. It's Bohemian Rhapsody.
And we have a match, because my number 9 is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, we got a match. So it won 4 Oscars. Leading role, Rami Malek. Film editing, achievement in sound editing, and achievement in sound mixing, which are now together. Now it's just best sound overall.
I think we should strip it of the editing one, because the editing is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why it won for that, but that's interesting, and I think a lot of people would not understand why he won for that role, especially because Rocket Man was done so much like better overall, in my opinion. That was one of my favorite movies of that year. But yeah, why do you like this one at number 9?
I love Queen. Queen are one of my favourite bands of all time, and I like seeing their story. I know it's not their accurate story, but it's a nice story of how they did it. I don't like the fact they changed direct halfway through. I think they just kept Dexter Fletcher from the get-go and not bother including Bryan Singer, because I think if Dexter had his own vision to begin with, it would have been a much better film.
Yeah, it would have been a different film, that's for sure.
Because we all know Bryan Singer's not a very nice person, is he?
No, I think that's why everyone is kind of against it. But it's just the way that the cookie crumbles in that sort of arena. I was just talking with somebody recently about how us knowing personal lives about celebrities and people who are in the limelight, it really can hinder how we feel about them on screen, from now on. So it's unfortunate that they have to go through all that. But yeah, if you are a piece of then you're just a piece of and I think that's why he gets so much backlash. So but yeah, it's great music. I guess I mean, we all love songs from Queen. To see them being formed and created and come to life on a big screen was a lot of fun. A movie that's long, that doesn't feel too long. And yeah, Rami Malek did a great job, and it really elevated his career, I think, but also maybe came too soon for him, because now, we see him in the little things, and it's like, this is an Academy Award winning actor. But, he was great. He carried the movie. It's the reason why I think it did so well. But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody, my number 9.
And so is mine. I do like the scene at the end with the Live Aid thing. That was quite cool.
Yeah, I know, to see, because we're obviously too young for that, but to see it, kind of come to life and recreate it, it gives us a little, insight to how it really was. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and that's why I put it at number 9. And I'm gonna go back to your number 10 with my number 8, and it's Gone Girl. I like Gone Girl, but I do like other David Fincher films. But I think when I was looking through the 2014 films at the time, I think Gone Girl kind of kind of stuck out more to me.
Yeah, and it's a lot different than other Fincher movies, right? I mean, we just talked about them, Seven and Mank and Fight Club. This one's it's a man and a wife, and their struggle with their relationship, and
And the best part about this film is you don't like either of them. They are both horrible, terrible people.
yeah, yep, yeah, and that's just the way it goes, I mean, if you're bad people, you belong together. You're just
Exactly. Yeah.
um, well, my number 8 is Moonrise Kingdom.
Ah,
Um,
so what do you think to Moonrise Kingdom? So I haven't really heard your thoughts on a Wes Anderson film yet.
it's a really good film. I've seen it twice. I think I saw it in theaters and then rewatched it last year. I like Wes Anderson. I think he has a style for sure, and this is exactly that. We do have Bruce Willis in it, Bill Murray, Edward Norton, Frances McDormand, Jason Schwartzman, Tilda Swinton. So it's a huge Lucas Hedges, huge cast. And it's just an interesting story because it's about the Ranger. They're little, what are they, like Girl
They're
Scouts,
kind of
Boy
like
Scouts?
scouts, aren't they?
Yeah, like Scouts. And it's just Edward Norton in this film is so damn good. I really enjoyed him in this. But you get what you expect from a Wes Anderson film. You get colors, you get the sweeping of landscapes, and
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, of course, nominated for Best Writing Original Screenplay. Didn't win it, but yeah, Frances McDormand. This is one of your favorite performances from her, right?
Yeah, I would say it's my favourite in a Wes Anderson film, even though she's only done this one and Isle of Dogs, and Isle of Dogs is more of a voice role.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this was your favorite movie in 2012, huh?
Yeah, it beat Django Unchained. It was between them two.
Django Unchained. Oh my God, I watched. It was on the because I'm at a hotel right now. It was on Showtime on Monday, and I put it on and it was just like kind of doing unpacking whatever. And then it got to the part with Leo at the table, and I just sat down and watched that entire scene and just was like, oh my God, this is one of the best scenes in all of cinema. It's so damn good, and he's bleeding for real, and it's just that's such a good monologue as well. What a great performance. But I'm glad to hear Django Unchained was at least up there. The winner that year was Argo, but Beasts of the Southern Wild was nominated, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Les Miserables, Silver Linings Playbook, Zero Dark 30, and Amour.
I've seen a few of the other ones.
Yeah, well, Life of Pi is really good. I've seen all of these. Amour, I don't think I've seen Amour though. It's rare that a international movie gets up for Best Picture, but lately it hasn't been so rare. Roma, Parasite, Minari,
Yeah,
even though it's an American movie, I guess. But no, Moonrise Kingdom, probably the most fun movie in all these. As far as overall, just humor and drama, directing, writing, yeah, Moonrise Kingdom, my number 8.
sound. I'm gonna jump on board with you because Moonrise Kingdom is my number 7. This is my favourite Wes Anderson film. Edward Norton is phenomenal as a scout leader. I love the scenery, love the settings, love the music. And I even love the kid actors. They're really good in this film. You don't really see many good children actors, but they're phenomenal. They're both really good actors.
Yeah, they seemed real. I know Wes Anderson has this like spunky sort of dialogue that he kind of writes, and for kids, it's interesting to see him write for kids. But he really casted well because they really work in this movie. And for adults to enjoy a movie that's driven by kids is hard enough in itself, but he really pulled it off in Moonrise Kingdom.
He did. He did. I also like how he writes, because he writes the kids as adults and the adults as kids.
Yeah.
And I think that is quite fun how they're opposites.
Yeah, and it is kind of how it goes, as sometimes as kids you really have to be put in that kind of adult position and whatever, but as adults I feel like I get more and more kid-like. So I wonder if that's how Wes Anderson also feels.
Definitely. What's your number 7 then?
My number 7 is The Shape of Water.
Oh, a
Guillermo
little
del
bit
Toro.
more higher up on this list.
Yeah, well, it won for Best Picture. Beat out Call Me By Your Name and Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, and three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. This is 2017. Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous film. And it's about being connected with somebody who normally isn't in your sort of bubble, somebody who you normally wouldn't be attracted to or even want to be friends with or whatever. It's mysterious, it's sci-fi, as Guillermo del Toro loves to do. And this was his high point here. Winning Best Picture is huge. And yeah, you gotta love Richard Jenkins in this film, Sally Hawkins,
And Octavia
and of
Spencer, she was great in
course,
that.
yeah, Octavia Spencer, Michael Shannon too,
Brilliant.
yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant as the villain that Michael Shannon is.
I like Michael Shannon, in almost any performance. I don't think there's one I haven't enjoyed, and of course Doug Jones as the Aquaman. But it won Best Achievement in Directing, Best Motion Picture, Original Score, and Production Design. But nominated for so much more, probably the highest nominated movie that year. Sound mixing, editing, costume, cinematography. It's a great film. It's just I like other ones more, but this is solid. I enjoyed other movies that year over Shape of Water, from 2017.
Did you like Paddington 2?
The movie that took the highest ranking on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to revisit the Paddington series because I feel like I just either didn't get it or maybe I just need to rewatch it, and because everyone loves them and talks about them, but it was like, meh. I liked Phantom Thread and Dunkirk a lot more that year, but Shape of Water, still a fine film. Do you remember what was second that year for you?
3 billboards.
Oh yeah, good choice.
Then Paddington 2 was 3.
All right, number 6.
1917.
1917. Well, I can jump on that because it's my number 5.
Nice.
Yeah, let's talk 1917.
Don't you think it was a cool film how it all moves with the camera like Birdman does?
Well, I love one takes. I love, movies that create their own sets. I love war movies. I don't know why this one didn't connect with me the way that others have, but I still enjoyed it over 5 other films because it's war. I really love war because I would never do it. I love movies. I like to watch movies of things that I could never, ever do. I just can't kill somebody, so I can't be in war. And I salute everyone who could and is out there. But I just love movies about things that I could just never do because I don't have the balls.
Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge?
I love that movie. See, I don't know why that one connected with me more, but
Because he doesn't kill anybody in the war in that film.
Well, yes, he doesn't. You're right. He's a pacifist, which I love. But also, I love the gore in that movie and just the raw. It just felt like you were in the trenches with them. Here, I felt like there was a lot of suspense leading up to nothing for the most part until the final sort of 20 minutes. Won Best Achievement in Cinematography and Visual Effects and Sound Mixing, and then nominated for a buttload more. What do you like about this film?
Well, I think it's Sam Mendes' best film. I do love how the story. I like how you follow these two soldiers. I like how Colin Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Scott, Richard Madden, they all pop up and show up. Mark Strong was really good as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like his adventure and stuff. I felt bad for the other kid because he got, spoiler alert, he got shot halfway through. Also, my parents watched this film for the first time recently. They enjoyed it too. So
That airplane scene, I went and saw in theaters, and then everyone was like, "Oh, it's the best movie. It's gonna win Best Picture." And I was like, what did I not get?" So I went back and I watched it again in the theater, and that airplane scene got me both times. It is so remarkable, and the way that they did that and set that up is just tremendous. And that whole scene really, I feel like that's when the movie really got started, is when that kid ended up dying. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a masterpiece just done overall. I mean, those one takes, the set pieces is just incredible, and the directing in the movie overall is worthy of its accolades.
yeah, it is worthy of its awards and acclaim.
Um,
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear my number five?
Sure, I'll say my number 6 first, and then you tell me your number 5. My number 6 is Prisoners.
Ooh,
What's your number 5?
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh yeah, what a lovely day. I didn't even. I was wearing the shirt already before I even knew that we were doing remembering we were doing this list today. So it's just a coincidence.
Yeah. So,
um,
what's your thoughts on Prisoners first?
Thoughts on Prisoners is, boy, did I love this film. Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, so damn good. But let's not forget, we have Viola Davis in there, and Melissa Leo and Terrence Howard, Maria Bello. But a true star in this movie is Paul Dano. He really is weird and creepy and so good in this movie that he's memorable. I just listed off 6 people. Some are Academy, or all of them are Academy Award nominated actors, but also we have huge winners here. And but Paul Dano is still the guy that really stands out in this movie because of his performance and how creepy he is. Directed by Denis Villeneuve. We have him as the director of Sicario, Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, and Enemy. He likes working with Jake Gyllenhaal, obviously. But Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman. I like this because Hugh Jackman, I believe this is coming off of Les Miserables, or before maybe. This is coming off of like a bunch of X-Men movies, and we're finally seeing him in another light, and he just kills it in this. Totally believable, as a dad, and just really, really, really good performances here. 2.5 hours flew by. It's a really good, crime dad retrieval daughter
I
movie.
love Prisoners a little bit more, so I put up a little bit higher.
Cool. It's on Hulu right now.
My number 5 is probably one of the best action films ever made, Mad Max Fury Road.
Absolutely. And obviously I haven't talked about it yet, so I would agree that it's definitely one of the best action films out there.
And this is my favourite out the Mad Max films as well.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I
Yeah.
love love Mel Gibson, but there's no doubt that this is the best movie out of the Mad Max series.
Tom Hardy, phenomenal. Charlize Theron was even better as well, and I do love her character. And I even prefer her character to Max. Max is just on like the road, just to goes for the journey. Ferocious kind of the star of the show.
What about Nicholas Hoult? He's
Phenomenal,
yeah,
great,
so good.
great character.
Yeah, visual effects in this is amazing. Yeah, I just rewatched this a few weeks ago, and it solidifies why I enjoyed it so much. And it was my favorite movie of that year. So
Mine
uh,
too.
I'll have to talk about it later. But what was number two for you? First of all, after Prisoners.
Oh, 1917 was number 6 for me.
No, I meant that year for Prisoners. Was your favorite that year? What was number two?
I think it was either Wolf of Wall Street or Gravity,
Uh-huh.
one of
And
the two.
then
So I really like them two films.
and what was after 1917? What was number two?
I've changed it a lot recently. It was Avengers Endgame, but I think it's Parasite now.
Nice. And then what was number two after Mad Max?
Can't remember. I think it was Inside Out.
It's a good film. Okay. All right. So we're up to number four.
Yes, my number 4 is The Shape of Water.
All right. My number four is Hunt for the Wilder People.
Nice. So how come you like Hunt for the Wilder People a little bit more than me?
Well, it's just so dang fun. The kid in it who's in Deadpool is amazing. I mean, it's the first time that we get a glimpse at him, and he's not like amazing or whatever, but he's that little shit that you just kind of like want to shake. But he's also like really funny. And then I'm a huge fan of Jurassic Park, so Sam Neill, seeing him in a role again was also like really shocking to me because I didn't even realize or recognize that it was him, which is a testament to how good he is, and that beard that he grew. But yeah, also introducing us to Taika Waititi, at least for me, because I hadn't seen What We Do in the Shadows, so this was my first take into him, and it was so pleasant, and I really just enjoyed the chemistry with them. But also Rachel House as Paula, the lady in this movie, was also a standout. And I just remember the characters a lot in here, and I remember how much fun it is, and also it's cool to kind of be hidden in the woods, and it's like Moonrise Kingdom, they're like scouts just going out in the woods and um, survival and stuff. So I enjoyed it. The banter, the chemistry it all worked for me.
And the New Zealand location was stunning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, I don't know if they elevate the green on editing and stuff, but the vibrancy in it is just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So, The Shape of Water, you know how much I love this movie, Justin. I love how, not colourful, I love the music in it. I love Sally Hawkins' performance, Octavia Spencer, Richard Jenkins, and the whole story, even the B plot with the Russians. I find that interesting as well.
Yeah. It's a curveball, that stuff, but because there's so much else going on, but yeah, there is that underlining thing with Russians going on, and it's not distracting, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously Guillermo del Toro, he's really good at fantasy.
Yeah, is this your favorite Guillermo del Toro film?
Yes, it is. I've recently rewatched Pan's Labyrinth, which I still think is impressive.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Um, yeah, he is a producer on The Witches. That one didn't really work well.
He should have directed it then.
I think you're right about that. Well, good. It sounds like we're gonna at least have similar top three. Are you ready to move on to top three?
Yes. I'm sorry, but my number 3 is The Artist.
Hey, that's totally fine. My number 3 is Inception.
Nice.
There's always that foghorn going off in that movie. Go ahead and talk about The Artist. I mean, I can hop on with you because it's my number 2.
Perfect. Yeah. I think you recommended me The Artist, and I fell in love with it the first time I watched it. And then the second time I watched it for the review I did for the website, it still was nice to watch it. Watching an old film, it doesn't feel like your typical modern film. It feels like you're watching a film from the classic period, and that's what I like about it.
It's so damn charming and so fun, and it's about Hollywood, which I love. That's the reason why I'm in this game, is because I love Hollywood. That's just the reason why I'm here, and it's a movie about that and about following your dreams. And you have John Goodman in this, but Jean Depardieu and Berenice Bejo. And there's no talking, and it's in black and white, and it's still so engaging. And I watched this during quarantine, and it immediately shot up to one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Like, of all time. It's a movie I hadn't seen, and I watched it for the first time, and it became one of my favorite movies of all time. I love this movie. I can talk about it, so much. Obviously, there's one movie that I think is just slightly better for other reasons, but this movie just hit me in the face with everything that I could possibly love about a movie, and I don't know, I can't praise it enough.
So, what's your thoughts on Inception then?
Yeah, well, just real quick about The Artist. Obviously, it won for Best Picture, it won for Best Actor, and achievement in directing and costume design and score, which is amazing that it can have all these nominations and also wins, but it be a silent film with just music and in black and white and still get all that accolades is just so phenomenal to me. But what I liked a little bit less but still love so much is Inception. Probably definitely one of my top 3 favorite Christopher Nolan movies. But we have Leo here in his new sort of he's reborn in these new sort of characters that he's doing, this and Wolf of Wall Street and Revenant, not like what we see in his other sort of things. Plus, this has a 007 sort of feel to it, and then it's layered on layered on layered on layered on layered, and it's just so damn good. Also, Tom Hardy's in this, but I believe this is like our introduction into him. Unless you knew him from overseas, you probably had heard of him before.
Bronson, yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I love Bronson. But this movie is it's fun, it's engaging, it's interesting. People still don't know what they saw or what it means, and it's just so damn good. What was your number 2 this year for the Inception?
I think it was The King's Speech.
Yeah, solid. But I love Christopher Nolan. You love Christopher Nolan. Yeah, this movie is worth being on this list. No doubt about it.
It definitely is a masterpiece, and I'll get to it later when I reveal it on my list.
Yeah, it won 4 Oscars: achievement in cinematography, sound mixing, sound editing, and visual effects. But nominated for Best Picture and Screenplay and whatnot. So.
Oh, I forgot to mention my number 2 for 2011 would be Drive.
After The Artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Good choice. Also in this movie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ken Watanabe, Elliot Page, and Cillian Murphy. Oh, and of course, the beautiful Marion Cotillard. Okay, so your number 2?
Prisoners.
Prisoners. So I know what your number 1 is. You know what my number 1 is. But talk about Prisoners.
So I first watched this back in 2019. I missed the England game because of this film, because I was more interested in watching the film, and I was completely blown away from top, from beginning to end, and it was a phenomenal film. Jake Gyllenhaal completely stole the show. I mean, it was a nice change to see him play tough guys rather than awkward geeky people like Donnie Darko. So I watched Donnie Darko just before, and yeah, I got Paul Dano impressed me. Hugh Jackman, phenomenal with his dramatic performance. Viola Davis and Terrence Howard are always great, and Denis Villeneuve, his directing is phenomenal. Roger Deakins at cinematography, phenomenal, and late Johansson. I love his score because it feels so natural. You don't hear like music, you hear sounds, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, very much. And this movie has you on your toes all the way up until the very last second of the film. So that's really impressive.
Yeah, yeah, and I would happily like show this to somebody for their first time watch.
Yeah, you liked it more than the artist, huh?
Yeah, oh no, it just Prisoners gets to the point in the first 10 minutes. Their daughters go missing. They have to find them, and the whole film is them trying to find their daughters. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel bad that people are watching it and they get upset about child abduction and child abuse. I understand why this film would not be for you, but if you can go way past that and just look at the brilliant performances and story, you'll have a good time.
Yeah. Stacked cast. All-star stacked cast.
So yeah,
Ready
talk
for
to
your
me
number 1?
about your number 1.
Number 1 for me is Mad Max Fury Road. Again, just a coincidence. As soon as we started rolling, I was like, oh yeah, I'm wearing this shirt. And it's my favorite film of probably, well, I mean, yeah, the art, it was tough between the artist and Mad Max Fury Road, but Mad Max Fury Road was an instant classic to me. Immediately went on my all-time favorite movies of all time, and it is one of the best action films of all time. The guitar player, in the back of the truck,
I love the guitar player.
and the fire going up in the air and explosions. I mean, it is kind of like redundant or whatever. They drive this way just to drive back this way. But, I just rewatched it for, the third or fourth time, and it still is so engaging and so much action. And the coloring is awesome. The grading that they did for, in the editing room is so damn good.
Yes, the editing is phenomenal.
Yeah. Directed by George Miller, of course. But, this movie won 6 Oscars. Film editing, costume. I said that already. And nominated for so much more. And was just so good. I'm surprised it didn't win Best Picture that year. But,
See, I thought The Revenant was going to win Best Picture that year, but when I did watch Spotlight in the end, I was satisfied, so I didn't really complain after that.
Yeah, I thought The Revenant was also going to win that year, but I thought Mad Max Fury Road should have been up. But the fact that it was up for Best Picture is a testament of how good this film is, because normally an action film like this doesn't normally get this much praise, and this one did, and I'm so happy it did.
Yeah. See, that's why I think Prisoners is underrated. It didn't really get much praise at the time it came out, and now people look at it and think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, truly. But speaking of masterpieces, your number 1
is Nolan's second best masterpiece, number 1 being The Dark Knight.
Which is?
So, Inception.
Inception.
Yes. So, I love Inception because it's a brand new idea. I mean, Nolan probably got his inspiration, but the twist he put on it was brilliant. Got his team, his super team, who I consider Wally Pfister, Hans Zimmer, and Lee Smith, like Steven Spielberg has his team, and they all do a great job as the crew for this film. And obviously, Leo, Elliot Page, Ken Monaghan, Marion Collette, Tom Hardy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Cillian Murphy, and Michael Caine. They all play really good roles in this film, and they're all really important. There's nobody you think, oh, he should have been cut out, he should have been cut out. No, they all play a really vital part of this film. They're like chess pieces.
Yeah. Also, another movie that leaves you, makes sure you're on your toes all the way up until the last second of the film, and then you don't even know where you are once that happens.
Yeah. And then you realise the whole film is one big character study showing how he's trying to get over his wife's death.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I love seeing Leo, like I said, in this, and knowing that he always gets to work with the big top directors is amazing, because Nolan is, one of my favorites too, and to have him work with him is a treat.
I don't think he's worked with Fincher yet.
I don't think he likes doing that many takes. But what a list.
Yeah. Do you want to read them back for it?
Yeah. My number 10 is Gone Girl.
My number 10 is Hunt for the Wilder People.
At number 9, I have Bohemian Rhapsody.
At number 9, I also have Bohemian Rhapsody.
Our only match. Yeah. Number 8 is Moonrise Kingdom.
My number 8, Gone Girl.
7 is Shape of Water.
7 is Moonrise Kingdom.
At number 6, I have Prisoners.
At number 6, I have 1917.
At number 5, I have 1917. Just liked it a little bit more.
And at number 5, I have Mad Max Fury Road.
Liked it a lot more than you, apparently. Number 4 is Hunt for the Wilder People.
And I like this movie more than you. My number 4 is The Shape of Water.
That's right. Number 3, I have Inception.
Number 3, I have The Artist.
I liked it a little bit more. I have The Artist at number 2.
And I have Prisoners at number 2.
And one that I for sure can't believe it's not in your top 3, Mad Max Fury Road, my number 1.
And I can't believe this is your third, number 1, Inception.
Awesome. That's fun.
I'm kind of glad that you do have similar interest in movies with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I sure do. I mean, we both like action, and we like Nolan, and we like movies with heart, because Prisoners has a lot of heart in that as well.
Yeah, and they're all about humanity in their own ways as well, these films, and that's what I like about them.
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody for sure. Probably the most stylized, eccentric, but definitely has what you're talking about, because it had a lot to do with the homosexual world when it really wasn't okay.
Yeah. Right, I think we'll cut things here today. Thank you for coming, Justin, and thank you to the patrons, Ben, Sean, and the Country Filmmakers.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks, Rob, for having me. Yeah, I always love being here, and have a lovely time on your trip.
Yes, that's right. We're not here next week. We'll be here the week after. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you're going to do in 2 weeks as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Until then, have a wonderful trip, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, see you later, Justin.
Later, Rob.
Bye-bye.
Bye.